every Saturday night, 9 Eastern, right here on Fox. Hello, Judge Jeanine Pirro. Anything going on in your life today?
I'll tell you, Sean, I got an invitation to go on The View to talk about my new book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, and I accepted the invitation. I was happy to respond to their request. There was one segment which I thought was rather civil. I mean, they clearly are of a particular bent, but it was in the second segment that you just played where I literally was thrown off the set. Whoopi Goldberg, basically said, "I'm done." She pulled the plug off and walked away. But it didn't end there, Sean. And I think the sad part about all this is that, I said in the first segment, we need to start talking to each other. We need to start having a conversation. People who ostensibly hate each other. And the irony is that I said that about 2 minutes before she started. And I just felt that today was a microcosm of what is happening in America as the left suffers from this Trump derangement syndrome, shuts the right down, doesn't allow you to talk. She asked me a question and then yells at me, yells about Donald Trump, yells about, and when I try to answer, she continued to yell. But it didn't end there, Sean. What happened was I realized the segment was over. I got up. And I just started, I left the stage going downstairs and I saw her and I had to walk by her and I said, "Whoopi, I fought for victims my whole life," something like that. And she started cursing at me.
What did she say? Tell everybody what she said without saying it.
She said,
"Blank you.
F you. F you." And I said, "Whoopi, did you just say F you?" I mean, she was right here. And then she said, "Get the F out of this building." And she yelled at me again, "Get the F out of this building." And I felt like I was less than dirt. I couldn't believe that I went there to have a conversation. I got thrown off the set, thrown out of the building. And as I walked away, she's yelling at me, "Get the F out of this building." Sean, it's sad. What these people have turned into is sad. What is happening?
Well, what's happening is they can't handle that they lost. They can't seem to handle that the world's changed. The worst part, I think, for those on the left is that the president's success is causing them to go even more insane. Because remember, there was supposed to be this big blue tidal wave, but the economy is setting record numbers. I can't wait till the end of next week. I think we get second quarter GDP. Estimates are it's going to be pretty good, maybe even as high as 4%,
right?
Which, Barack Obama never had in 8 years of his presidency. 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, and the president's getting results. But there's no doubt it's a divided country. I've known Whoopi for years. I've watched the show. Frankly, it's become unwatchable. The ratings are way, way down from what it used to be. And the fact that they can't have a civil conversation with you is part of the reason.
Well, Sean, I have co-hosted that show in the past. And during the break between the first and second segment, I looked over at Whoopi and I said, "How are you? I haven't seen you in a while." And I said, "Are you still doing something that we used to do together?" And she said no. And then I turned to Ana Navarro from CNN. No one told me someone from CNN was going to be a host, which I thought was kind of fascinating.
I hope you said fake news.
And, I tried a conversation to have and all of a sudden, when we came back into the second block, it was all hell broke loose. And I have to tell you, Sean, we deserve better. We deserve better than to be berated because we may support the president.
Judge, look at what happened to Pam Bondi, Secretary Nielsen, Sarah Sanders. Look at the covers that I just showed our audience in my opening monologue tonight.